I'm going to give you a set of 30 data points, everything from it looks like a lowest value of 4 all the way up to 149 and a lot of things in between. This is actually a subset of a much larger data set. When we're collecting data, we tend to be asking questions about something. Maybe we're taking an opinion poll and we want to know how people feel about a presidential candidate. Ideally, we'd like to look at the entire population of people across the country. But the problem is that population is way too large. We can't go and actually ask people's opinion of a presidential candidate for every single person. So instead, what we do is we take a smaller subset, maybe through a telephone poll, and that's called a random sample. We have to be very, very careful that we take this in such a way that we get a good cross section of the entire population. But this smaller subset is called a random sample. Now, what we want to do is we want to take this data and we want to make it easier to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and group the data into 6 intervals and find the frequency of each interval. When I look at my data, the largest data was 149, the lowest one was 4. And if we were to group the data into 6 intervals of width 25, all of these data would fit into those intervals. The first interval is going to go from 0 to 24, and if I look at my data, I see that 4 different data points fit in that interval. The next interval is going to go from 25 to 49, and if I look at the data, I see 3 of the data points fit in there. From 50 to 74, 6 of the data points fit, and from 75 to 99, 3 data points fit. 100 to 124, 5 data points fit, and from 125 to 149, we just squeak in with that highest one, 9 different data points fit into that. Now that I actually have that calculated out, what I'm going to do is I want to be able to visualize this distribution of frequencies, or this frequency distribution. And the way I do that is with a histogram. So let me show you what the histogram to this data looks like. What I've done is along the bottom here, I've gone ahead and listed 0, 25, 50, 75, and so on. Those were the intervals of which that our data lies in. And we saw that from 0 to 25, there were 4 data points. So what I've done is I've made a bar that has a height of 4. From 25 to 50, I've made a bar with a height of 3 because 3 data points fit into the interval from 29 to 49. From 50 to 74, remember 6 data points fit in, so I made a bar with a height of 6. And I did the same thing for the rest of the intervals here.